Okay, stories are really, really important, and this is one of the most special stories of my life. This is my mother, and I know a lot of you were watching the Emmys and waiting to hear about Temple and what was, if she was going to win or if she wasn't going to win or what was going to happen with her movie. I sat on the edge of the seat, watching the Emmys, and the phone rang, and it was my son Matthew. And I'm like, no, not now. I can't talk right now. I've got to see this show. So the phone rings again, and he's calling me. Your sister, she's dying to get in touch with you. She has to talk to you right now. And I'm like, no, I can't talk right now. I want to watch Temple. And I had the phone to my ear, and as she got the Emmys, so finally I called my sister back, and she said, Mom died. And it was at the same exact moment that Temple was acknowledged for all these 7 Emmys, and that she had asked her mother to stand up and be recognized at the Emmys. And this is the first time I presented since this. But my mother, my sister's here too, but our mother was a wonderful, wonderful inspiration and a fantastic storyteller. She would have people sitting on the edge of the seats, and everything was the most beautiful dress or picture she'd ever seen, or the best pie. Everything was the best and the most beautiful, and she was a captivating person. But it was just so synchronistic that happened at the same time. So I had one of the most powerful moments of my life, because losing your mother and then seeing Temple being recognized were just really amazing at the same time. I was torn. Anyway, so stories are the connecting fiber that we have as people to share, and they pass down from generation to generation, and they're at the heart of who we are. It's what we do. We share our stories. We want other people to understand. We want people to understand our children, just like Sandy Sutz and so many other stories that are in the book. There are milestones. There's so many milestones that our kids have, like their first word or taking their first step or whatever that could be. And like when you get the diagnosis of autism in your family, it's a hard diagnosis to get. Like there's no cure or anything, and you just don't know what to do and who to talk to and where to turn. So these milestones are very important to help other parents along the special needs highway. They teach us, our kids teach us patience and understanding and acceptance, and they have so much to share. Okay, that was a little emotional. I think I already talked about the 140 different books that Chicken Soup has, and that before we were finally published in the Chicken Soup book, I decided I wanted to share the stories that all the parents had been sending me, and we published a book called The Autism Experience, Stories of Hope and Love, and it was really well accepted. But I didn't give up that wanting to have Chicken Soup published, so 10 years after I published that book, they finally said, we're going to do this book, and it was really, really exciting. Well, one of my stories, the first time I did the presentation for Chicken Soup in Cleveland, Ohio, I got really I always get nervous before presentations, so ended up going to the bathroom about 10 times, just to make sure. Anyway, I walked into the wrong bathroom, and I'm like, how am I going to get out of here without anybody seeing me? And it was just, I had to sit there and wait, and I pulled my feet up off the floor as I was sitting down. So nobody could see the gold high heels sitting underneath the 10th stall. And then I finally thought the coast was clear, and I made a run for the door. And went and did my presentation, and then I noticed these 2 guys in the back of the room kind of smirking, and I'm sure they saw me running out. Whatever. One of my favorite stories with Jonathan was the time that our next-door neighbor invited all 8 of us over to their house to have dinner, which is pretty crazy in the first place, especially when you have a young kid with autism and then a brand new newborn. Well, the kids decided to play hide-and-go-seek. So they're running all over the house and everything. All of a sudden, we heard this great, big, blood-curdling scream, and it's Jonathan, and he's stuck in a flower pot. I guess he liked deep pressure, I don't know. But it was about this high and about that wide, because I just saw it the other night because we went back over there and over to their house. And we thought we were going to have to call the fire department to get, crack the pot open and get him out. But my son Matthew had the brilliant idea of taking some baby oil and some Vaseline and ripping his shirt off, putting it around him, and we slipped him out of it. He just popped right out. And then Kimberly says, "Mom, it's like the pot's giving birth." So I do have the opportunity of visiting with a lot of different mothers a lot of times. And a couple of years ago, we were talking about the stories that our kids had. One mom said that her son flooded the bathroom floor so much that they had to replace the ceiling. And then this other mom was saying how her son almost caught the house on fire, you know. So then I told her about my son with ADHD, Alex, and what he decided to do is he didn't want me to catch him playing with fire. So he took a match, threw it in the garbage can, and then he decided he was going to put it on the back porch, the wooden back porch. So I didn't find out. Well, we smelt something burning, so fortunately we saved the deck. But that's the kind of stories that, I think we all have those stories. They're hilarious. Not at the time they're happening, but they are later.